Hi, it's Diana. And I am preparing one of my favorite cookies. Okay, it's probably my favorite. And here's a hint, because I have little ones like, it's gingerbread. Now, I realized I have all my ingredients out. I'm doing my thing, and I went, oh yeah, I have a low threshold of discipline around gingerbread cookies. So my discipline comes from not making them, but I'm making them today. I am using a recipe that I got years ago before either of my children were born. So that's over almost 25 years ago. Wows. From Martha Stewart, and I got it first in a magazine, and then I lost that copy, and I believe I found it, this recipe, I found it and printed it. This says 1999. Now that's after, because anyway, it's for Moravian cookies. I do not make Moravian cookies. They're super thin, and it's a whole process. I do it differently, but what I love about this recipe, and why I keep coming back to it, is the amount of spices. I really like spicy gingerbread cookies. So I'm making those, and it's gonna be fun. I'm so excited because there's no trepidation here. I've done this many times before. Not that I can't mess it up, especially if I'm doing two things at once. That's food for thought. But I feel comfortable. I feel like, yes, I've done, okay. So what we would do with this at Christmas, and we might still do it, or it might be me, anyway, is these would be the cookies that we would decorate for Santa and for ourselves. And it got very creative. I'm about to measure 5 cups of flour. That's a lot of flour. I'll show you when I sift it. I just want to read the spices because there are a bunch of them. A tablespoon of cinnamon. A tablespoon of ground ginger. Ginger's my favorite. 2 teaspoons of ground allspice. 2 teaspoons of ground cloves. I also am a big fan of cloves. Those are the spices. That's a lot. I mean, usually it's like a teaspoon and a half of cinnamon, tablespoons. Oh. So this is a multi-day process. The dough needs to be cooled, and see, can't do 2 things at once, not well. Neither of them well. The dude whose meditation style I used to do years ago would say that I'm not doing either of them. Okay, I'm gonna stop. Multi-day process. 1, to make the dough, then it has to cool. It's not handleable. If you don't chill it overnight, it can be frozen. And then the cooking or the baking of the cookies, so that's day 2. And then the decorating of the cookies. I do not bake the cookies and decorate the cookies the same day. If I did, by the time I got to decorating, I would be tired and annoyed and just want to get it over with. And that is not the attitude I want to have when I'm decorating cookies. Oh God, it smells so good. It smells so good. Big bowl of flour and spices. And it's going to work. I'm so happy. I also have to make icing for this because I do not buy my icing. Yeah, I'm a little bit of a snob. Okay, I'm at the end of the cookie part of day 1, and that is to divide the dough in half, form it into it says rectangle. I just do a flat shape because I'm not doing the same thing as the recipe is doing. And dividing it in half makes it more manageable because it is a large amount of dough. So dividing it in half, kind of pressing it into a flattish shape, flat-ish, that will make it easier to roll out tomorrow. That's it. And if I were, that's me patting my dough. Sometimes I make this really early and I freeze it, and that works too. The other thing I will do today, and just after I get this into the refrigerator, is make the icing, because the icing is really easy, and yeah, it's just a good thing to do on it on the day I make the dough. I am now making the icing that I use on the gingerbread cookies. I know royal icing makes beautiful cookies, and I prefer on these cookies a cream cheese based icing. So no, you know, I don't even have to talk about royal icing. I don't have to talk about it. It has its place, not on these cookies. So at the most simple, I decorate with the white version of the cream cheese icing. This icing also makes a bunch because it is for icing cakes. So I can divide it and put some coloring in it, and that's what I did when my kids were young. And then there was a bunch of different colors to icing with. When I've done it by myself, I usually leave it white. Anyway, this does not come from Martha Stewart. This comes from a cookbook, the new baking cookbook by Better Homes and Gardens. It is not new anymore. This is one of my go-to baking cookbooks. Anyway, it was, let me see, looking for the date, 1998. That's when my older child was born. So I'm making it right now. Cream cheese, butter, best to do those first, get them fluffy, then add, and I'm adding the confectioner sugar. That's it, that and vanilla extract. That's all the icing. That's all the ingredients for the icing. Very easy. Make it, put it in a container, put it in the refrigerator. Day one of cookies. Ooh. It doesn't have all the sugar in it yet. It will get pretty stiff. Unlike royal icing though, it never gets as stiff. And if you stack the cookies, it can smoosh the icing. It'll get a little stiff, but not like royal icing. The dough has been chilling. I brought out a section. It's a quarter of a half. Okay, I'm not gonna do math right now. And I'm gonna roll it. I'm using my little guides again. And I've chosen one of my gingerbread cutter. That's actually my cookie cutters that's shaped like a gingerbread man, kid. It's a kid. It's got a little alfalfa if you're from a certain. So I'm going to point out that my little gingerbread kid, I don't know if you can see it, little leg is up. Oh yeah, that's better. He's running as fast as he can, or he's dancing, or she's dancing, or they're dancing. Okay, so here is the danger of using this dough with these cookies, and maybe with any, is I have to roll it a lot, and that works the dough. And so the more I do it, the tougher they get. I incorporate flour that isn't part of the recipe, which also messes with it. A couple of reasons I don't care. One, they were the cookies I used with my kids. So it was more about having that decorating experience than having the perfect cookie. I think I just don't care. In a little while I'll show you my favorite cookie cutter that I have. Okay, here's my favorite. Do you know what it is? It makes me laugh every time. If you've been around this thing, you know. If you haven't, you might think it's a potato. It is a guinea pig. Doesn't it look? I mean, look at the little foot right there, and the little nose, and the little potato-shaped body. We had guinea pigs when my kids were little. Wait a minute. I found the other one. It's a tiny one, tiny little guinea pig with the. Let me see. I'm trying to. Beautiful. Oh man, I smushulated a little bit. Okay, I have my cookies, and I used the Betty Crocker one from my kit, from my childhood. And they didn't come out the best, but that's okay. But they're the right shape. So here they are. You can see his little mouth and his little, maybe you can't, there you can. No, there you can. Run. Okay. Dye little, and we'd have a lot of colors and a lot of sprinkles. I am kind of missing the sprinkles because their eyes look a little creepy. On these, got my little icing bag. I am following the lines since they're guidelines. 1, 2, little mouth. But I really like to put eyes close together, and these eyes are very far apart. They smell so good, and I like just the white icing. So I can see why the kids walking through the woods, very starving, could smell a gingerbread, and took a bite of the house. Look, didn't he come to life? He came to life. Run, as you can. Favorite shapes with icing are hearts. Like I said, I like to do and then the mouth is a little heart. And then and they can all look a lot like different. They can all have their own little personality. And then they can, here's one with the spiky hair. Spiky hair. I haven't decided this one has earmuffs on or curly hair. Okay, so that's decorating. Really low-key decorating. I'm not even gonna look to see. I was gonna say, well, let me look to see if I have a chocolate chip or something I could put in his eye. Not.